Abu Mohammed al-Julani, the enigmatic leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham or HTS, is a pivotal figure in Syria's tumultuous political landscape. His rise to prominence as a key player in Syria's opposition and his leadership in toppling Bashar al-Assad would represent a monumental shift in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Born in 1981 in Syria's western province of Latakia, Abu Mohammed al-Julani came from a Sunni Muslim family. Details about his early life remain scarce, but he pursued studies in Islamic jurisprudence, reportedly in Iraq. His political awakening and radicalization are attributed to his time in Iraq during the US invasion. Al-Julani joined Al-Qaeda in Iraq under the leadership of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, gaining combat experience and ideological rigor. When the Syrian civil war erupted in 2011, al-Julani returned to Syria, aiming to establish an Islamist insurgency. He initially aligned with Jabhat al-Nusra, a branch of Al-Qaeda, and quickly rose through its ranks, demonstrating strategic acumen and battlefield leadership. Al-Julani's most significant move came in 2016 when he rebranded Jabhat al-Nusra as Jabhat Fateh al-Sham, severing formal ties with Al-Qaeda. This strategic rebranding aimed to consolidate local support and distance the group from its international terrorist identity. Later, the group evolved into Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which positioned itself as a dominant force in northwestern Syria, particularly in Idlib province. Under al-Julani's leadership, HTS transformed from an insurgent militia to a quasi-government, administering civil services, imposing Sharia-based governance, and maintaining a military presence. This pragmatic approach allowed al-Julani to gain both local and international recognition as a key player in the Syrian conflict. Al-Julani espouses a Salafi jihadist ideology, emphasizing the establishment of an Islamic state governed by Sharia law. However, unlike the global ambitions of groups like ISIS, al-Julani's focus has been more localized, aiming to secure control over Syrian territories and garner legitimacy among Syrian Sunnis. His break with Al-Qaeda and his attempts to moderate HTS image suggest a degree of political pragmatism. By portraying HTS as a nationalist force rather than a transnational jihadist group, al-Julani has sought to attract broader support and reduce international opposition. If al-Julani were to successfully overthrow Bashar al-Assad, it would mark a dramatic reconfiguration of Syria's power structure. Assad's regime, backed by Russia and Iran, has long been entrenched, withstanding over a decade of civil war. Al-Julani's ascent would signal the culmination of years of insurgency and a shift from secular authoritarian rule to Islamist governance. The implications of such a regime change are profound. The fall of Assad would disrupt the alliance between Syria, Iran, and Hezbollah, weakening the Shia axis in the region. It could also embolden Sunni Islamist movements across the Middle East. While al-Julani's leadership might bring stability to areas under HTS control, his governance model raises concerns about human rights, minority protections, and gender equality. Al-Julani's success could inspire other Islamist groups globally, potentially revitalizing jihadist movements in regions like North Africa and Central Asia. Despite his strategic successes, al-Julani faces significant challenges. His leadership is contentious among Syrians, with many viewing HTS as oppressive and unaccountable. Internationally, HTS remains designated as a terrorist organization, limiting its ability to gain diplomatic legitimacy. Moreover, his reliance on military strength and ideological rigidity may alienate moderate factions and hinder efforts to unify Syria's opposition. The presence of rival groups, including remnants of ISIS and Kurdish militias, adds another layer of complexity to his ambitions. Abu Mohammed al-Julani's trajectory from an Al-Qaeda operative to a quasi-state leader underscores his adaptability and strategic foresight. His role in Syria's future hinges on his ability to balance ideological commitments with pragmatic governance. While his potential overthrow of Bashar al-Assad represents a turning point, it also raises critical questions about the nature of his leadership and the broader implications for Syria and the Middle East.